Today's podcast is brought to you by the Texas Renaissance Festival. Who's going to be the first to say it?
Huzzah!
I mean, come on, you hear that and you've got it immediately. So, yes, it is the Texas Renaissance Festival here at Exploded.com. About to kick off the podcast. A couple quick plugs to get out of the way. Don't forget social media to check us out, Facebook.com/Exploded. That's Exploded with a special ed on the end. And on Twitter at Exploded69, because we're real mature like that, Corey. And what else? We got the website, the hub for all things Exploded, Big D.
Don't forget to check out the swag.
What's the website, though?
Store, Exploded.com.
There you go. Okay, now do the swag.
Don't forget to check out the store, buy some Exploded swag.
You can get the Big D's Random Rant shirt. We do have one.
Oh, do we now? Wow.
Yeah.
Your face is plastered right on the middle of it.
I guess
They sell like hotcakes.
We'll have to show you the picture. You'll love it. It looks like a bear. Do you know if I use the homosexual term bear, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, that's what it looks like.
If you buy things on Amazon, don't forget to go to Exploded.com. Click on the link. Doesn't cost you a penny, but helps out the podcast.
There you go. Dr. Grant, have we forgotten anything?
No. I'm just over here chewing on the mic. Sorry.
All right. With that, let's start the podcast. Hey-oh! What do you know? It is the least dangerous podcast, the least dangerous DJ in America, self-appointed JC King with you, and we are not at the Hi-Fi Friday studios. We are at the Texas Renaissance Festival, and we're like in this is cool. We're like at King Arthur's table or something.
Conference suite.
This is legit.
The King's office.
Yes, this is the King's office we're in, and we are excited to be here at the Texas Renaissance Festival, which officially opens next weekend. So come out here next weekend, starting the 15th and 16th. And is that right?
11th and 12th.
11th and 12th, holy shit. Okay, 11th and 12th.
I think the 15th is like a Wednesday.
That's in the middle of the week.
I just listened to the commercial too. So come at the 11th and 12th, that's when it starts. And then every weekend all the way through end of November?
Yes, sir. November 30th is the final day of the Texas Renaissance Festival.
Now let me introduce everybody real quick. We got a lot of special guests here with us, all at one table. This is a Let's Bring Everybody Out podcast.
Yeah, we're only missing one person out of the Exploded crew.
Oh, Radio Ralph?
No, Rowdy.
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 Don't tell Rowdy I just said that. Okay? Let's not let that one slip. Yeah, Rowdy's out, unfortunately, the co-host of this show, which I just replaced with Radio Ralph. And, Radio Ralph's not here. Fishbone's not here, which I wish he was.
Well, they're the B-Team All-Stars.
But we'll go around the room and introduce, of course, you know him from Big D's Random Rant. He's not angry today, though. He's in an unusually happy mood. Big D is with us. How you doing, sir?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Excited? You're in a good mood, so you must like the Renaissance Festival.
I love the Renaissance Festival. I actually worked here when I was in high school, so it's like coming home.
So what did you do here?
I worked on the King Swing.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, you were a pusher.
Yeah, well, not really.
A puller.
Well, you're
you
bottom
gotta
or top,
just push
you
a
know?
button now. It's
So, okay, so you did that. How old were you?
16.
16?
Yeah.
I remember being 16, coming to the Ren Fair a lot, and I was always trying to hit on the hair braiding girls. That was my obsession. The hair braiding girls were like, oh, they're all the high school chicks. And
Right.
my dream was to hook up with a hair braiding girl.
Well, see, when you,
Never
we,
happened.
we did have a buddy that hooked up with a hair braiding girl.
Yeah, I think that's why he's not here with us today. Actually, I think there's some.
There are some lingering things with the wife that is not a hair braiding girl.
I don't know for sure. I can't say for sure, but I think that there could be a bump into the hair braiding girl might still be here. We might have to go by and see if we can find her today. But that's cool. I didn't know you weren't here. Also here with us, of course, the co-host of the Scheisen for Brains podcast, which we will be doing some mobile podcasting shortly. Wired Serial with us, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, America.
Good morning to you.
I love your good morning voice.
It's not my morning. I had too much fun last night. And
Dude, that idea of let's just rock it until, hey, who cares? 4 or 5, we'll go to bed, get an hour and a half of sleep was the worst idea of my life.
yeah, morning podcasting is not my thing.
We're an afternoon crew for a reason. The hangover is usually worn off by then.
Yeah.
And of course, Dr. Grant with us.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Very excited you're here. And typically you talk about science, but you also know a thing or two about history and the Renaissance and things like that, right?
A thing or two, yes.
Yeah, like, I think we already mentioned it somehow when we were mic checking, but there was a lot of syphilis back then, right?
There is a lot of syphilis all around at that time.
Yeah, it kind of has disappeared
Tons and
since
tons
then.
of
but-
syphilis.
And so I'm glad it's gone for the
Oh,
most part.
another thing.
What's that? Oh, I like this.
Related to that,
Yes.
sciencey type question, or whatever, not question.
Yeah.
Mornings are bad.
Yeah, I told you.
The pubic louse is on the endangered species list now because of all the shaving that goes on nowadays.
Yeah.
So
pubic-
crabs are disappearing?
Crabs are on the endangered species list.
let's clap for that.
Oh, does that get a clap? Oh, goodbye crabs. And
Are they on the once they're on the endangered species list, then they have a protective order?
Yeah, they're supposed to be protected, and you're supposed to protect their natural environment
Yeah.
and not
So-
deforestate.
So we're traveling back to the 70s now by law.
well, that's when Bush is back, then it's all over, man. So, well, that's interesting. Thank you for bringing that up. What a wonderful fact. That's good news, I guess. Never had crabs, so I guess I don't know what I'm missing. Probably not much.
Probably not much.
You notice? No one spoke up when I said that. No one was going to go, well, let me tell you. And then, this is really exciting. This is the first time we've had somebody hanging with us for the podcast. I'm super jacked to have him here. I want to get your title right, though. Are you the director of the Texas Renaissance Festival?
No, I'm the director of marketing.
Director of marketing for the Texas Renaissance Festival, Corey Brock.
Thank you guys for having me here. I appreciate it.
We are excited, man. Now, how long have you worked for the Texas Renaissance Festival?
This is my 3rd year out here, 3rd full year.
Yeah, okay, so 3 years here. How do you get this gig? What do you do before you end up at the Texas Renaissance Festival?
It's kind of strange. Most of our people out here usually start out, just as you said earlier,
The King Swings?
working out the King Swings, cooking popcorn and all that good stuff. I just took the job over here. I have a background in marketing. Came out here, had never been to the Renaissance Festival before.
Oh,
Never
wow.
seen the Renaissance. Came from down there in Corpus. And, took the gig. And, whenever you take a job like this, you got to embrace yourself in the place wholly. And know every aspect of the festival, because we have so much going on out here. So glad to be out here, and it's a fun gig to do.
Now, 3 years in, at the Texas Renaissance Festival, and going to it and being here, I guess you're here every weekend working it and everything like that.
Absolutely.
Throughout it. Now, is it a thing where you spend the rest of the year getting ready for this? This is a full-time, year-long job for you, right?
That's correct, yes, sir. Yeah, we start, in January. We'll have a couple weeks off here after the festival ends. Finish up all the reports, everything else, get data all accumulated of what we did this year, and we'll start again in January. It takes an entire year to put on this festival to get ready for it, and even in January and February we'll start planting trees out here. Trees
Wow.
need to be planted at a certain time of year and all that good stuff, and we'll break ground and start construction over again and keep working.
Okay, cool, man. So this is, I don't know if you guys have thought this or not. We were talking about on the way driving in, me and Cyril were, I kind of think, how does a Renaissance festival begin? You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking about, because, it seems like a crazy man has a lot of land and goes, I'm going to have a Renaissance festival today, and then just starts having one. Like we were talking about. What were you saying? Some dude tried to create Western world.
Yeah,
It was his
rented a
life's
house.
dream.
I rented a house from a man one time who was going to take the same route as that, and he wanted to build a Western world and have a Renaissance, a Disney World, a theme park dedicated to the Western genre.
Yeah.
And then he cut his arm on a table saw and locked up in a old folks home.
A dream deferred, sir. That's what it was. But, so yeah, I mean, that's what we're talking about. So you got to be the guy to know this. How the hell does a Renaissance festival start, and how close was I to being right?
You're pretty close. Back in the 60s, first one started out there in California. The California Pleasure Fair is what it was called. Our owner, who's still alive today, still owns the entire place, founder of this place, started out there working as a glass maker and glass staining. He still does a little bit of that. He's an artist by trade. What he did, he saw the comeuppance of that in the 60s, in the hippie times right there. That thing was going really well. He started up one in Utah, where he is originally from.
Okay.
And Utah is not as frugal as the rest of the world, let me say. With a lot of the Mormons.
I just think Mormons. That's what I think. As soon as you say Utah, I just go Mormons.
That's Mormons. So it didn't
Lots
go.
of Mormons.
It didn't go over well there. He started up a couple of years later. He started up one in Minnesota. The Minnesota Renaissance Festival is still going on today.
That's his too.
He began that one. He sold it after 4 years. The land up there, actually, he couldn't buy it. And so they're still having a lot of trouble out there in Minnesota with the land. There's a gravel pit and mining going around, and it's slowly eating up the festival. So they're going to have to move that entire festival here one of these years or so, I hear.
Oh, wow.
That's rumors and hearsay, but if you look on the Google Maps, man, there's a gravel pit right next to it and all that good stuff. So
Wow.
he sold out there and came down here in 73, 74. Bought a huge lot of land out here. Of course, there's not much out here right now, but there really was nothing, except for dirt roads out here.
Yeah.
And a bar. Came down here, flew down to Houston, and said, "Where can I buy this land at?" And so from then on else, it's history.
So he's just been good. This guy is like just what a strange career. What do
One
you got?
man started the entire United States Renaissance Fair.
It's what it sounds like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
He started it all, and he's still very active here with us. He is the idea man. We run the day-to-day operations of the festival. He lives right across the street on about 200 acres. He's got his own arboretum now that he'll open up here, in the next couple of years for the public to walk through. It's very
He's gonna open one.
Yeah.
Now that's the thing where you have like plants and birds, right?
That's right. That's correct. He's
Yeah.
got,
See what words I know? I couldn't pronounce it. Arboretum.
That's correct.
Okay.
And so he's got, tons of plants, birds, sculptures over there, lakes, ponds, everything in the world. A little church over there and everything. Constantly building over there. As a matter of fact, he has a crew of about 25 people working over there, which is more than we have over here at the festival.
This guy is like what I would do if, he's like Batman, like what I would do if I had a lot of money,
Yeah.
Like he just starts things and builds things.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take that, we could have a live call right now on the show.
No, thank you. It's
just
probably a ticket order.
It is, so he's like, literally, he's just a guy. I just wonder, I guess where it started, I'm wondering where he got the initial, did he do something before he started Renaissance festivals, or is that just what he did?
That's just what he did.
That's
he started
amazing.
out, probably in high school in his late 20s and stuff like that, just doing glass and glass staining
Wow.
and all that. Yeah.
That is crazy. And now he's got this thing that he's also going to open up.
Yeah, his arboretum, it'll probably open up here a couple of years and all that good stuff. It's a very peaceful place, and he lives over there too as well. Initially, he lived on the site over here. When I say site, I mean the festival site, the festival grounds. Back in the day, he had a trailer that he lived on out here, while he'd get his feet on the ground.
See, that's how you do it, man. You see, does he have like a family, or is it one guy?
One guy.
See, that's...
See, if I was him though, I would build a castle
Yeah,
in the fair,
yeah.
and that would be my house.
Yeah, you live at the
He's
Renaissance Festival.
living
How
out
would you
there.
not live in a castle? Like, why would you not build one? And
I would
Oh,
just
man.
straight up.
That's funny that you say that. His house up there is very plain. His idea is to always build in the festival for the people.
Yeah.
But there's another festival that I saw a couple of years ago, and they're building a castle in their festival for which they live in.
See, these people.
But the people, the patrons can't really go inside there.
Oh.
So they walk by this person's castle
Right.
as they throw...
You gotta tell
They're
it
birds
the
in
White
their
They're
House.
heads.
making a huge investment
for themselves.
But for themselves and not getting anything out of
Yeah,
it.
there's no return on that.
You'd have to run it like the White House though, and have tours and like
Yeah.
come see the stateroom. And,
But maybe they think like they are like, maybe they're setting up their own like surf kind of situation
Well, I was gonna say-
where they just stand out their window and just thumb their nose.
well, one day they'll let everybody into the festival and close the gates behind them, and now they have their village.
It went from a festival to real life. Like,
They set up their
Welcome back.
Went from good times to
Farming
what,
mud.
what was
Mud farming.
the village?
Yeah,
Don't
That's-
leave the gates.
that's a great idea, man. They're onto something, I think.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah. You know. So, well, that's cool. But what I was going to say is, like, I always think about these things, and you think about the difference between what dudes would do if they were just like single dudes, and then what dudes do when they like, you know, get family and kids and stuff. Is like for example, if it was just you, Dr. Grant, you would totally do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, big time.
But you got a kid, and so you can't go
Yeah,
building
you got,
castles.
You know, a wife, a couple kids. Yeah, they.
The man's living the dream.
Yep.
For a lot of dudes. It sounds, I'm not saying the other's
So
not the dream.
heartbroken. I could have had a castle.
They're not going to listen to this.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point. That's true. He's on the show and he doesn't too. Well, it's really cool. So the guy is still doing it, which is very cool. And you've been here 3 years. You've gone out to the festival every weekend, and I was really curious about this. It's weird because when you're a kid, seems cool. There's like Dead Bob and puppets and shows and magicians. And then when you're an adult, it's like winches and getting drunk and finding some chainmail chick. You know, it's like a totally different festival.
Fun for all
and
ages.
it all happens at the same day, same place.
It's
same-
like the
yeah.
greatest thing ever. Bring the kids out and, you know, go crazy at the same time. I was like 14 going to see Dead Bob, and then I'm like a year ago getting a bare ass spanking wherever we.
The Barbarian,
Yeah, the Barbarian Inn, yeah, brand new
This is
last
what
year.
happened. I didn't know this was going to happen. This got crazy,
That was
actually.
good times.
Get
What
ready.
happened? So we go.
That was for my 30th birthday last year.
Yeah, we're hanging out. We're drinking and just walking around, and then it starts to rain. So we run up into the Barbarian Inn, and so we're sitting there, and then we're throwing the beads and all that. The next thing I know, how does it start? This chick, one of the ladies there said something.
One of the bartenders there comes up and
Started asking
She-
questions
she-
about
she-
your kilt.
she was, you know, how dare you wear a kilt in my bar?
Yeah,
Because you and Serial were in kilts,
yeah,
as you are today.
yeah. This is the same outfit I wore pretty much last year.
Yeah, probably.
Haven't washed it since.
Yeah,
then.
probably hasn't been washed either.
So anyway, so then what happened? I can't remember. So she came up. Somehow it ended up 3 dudes
Yeah,
back behind the bar.
First of all, it was.
Oh, she wanted to see if we had like
yeah,
underwear or
exactly.
kilt
It was.
or
Are you a real Scotsman or are you just?
Regimental.
Yeah, right there you
Word
go.
for that.
There you go.
Yes, this guy knows. And so I think she just gave me a bare ass spanking because I was wearing drawers.
Yeah,
I think
she
that's
did.
why I got one.
She pulled him down for you.
Well, it
and
was for the
spanked you.
beads.
Yeah.
Oh, we did get
It
beads.
was
for
bribing
beads.
us for fancy beads.
It was a good time.
Yeah,
for me.
we got those fancy.
Yeah, really
necklaces
pretty golden
things.
Yeah. So my question to you is, what's the craziest thing you've seen, dude? You gotta have seen something. This is the time to let it all out, dude. This is it.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff out here. Over the past couple of years, it's gotten a lot more tamed down than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Just the costumes out here just absolutely blow my mind. I probably find about 20 Where's Waldos every day out here, and everything else. We usually have some people that get a little too rowdy and too drunk, and we have to, calm them down here and stuff like that. But no, nothing that absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah.
Really what blows my mind is, the people that come in before and get set up for the festival and all that good stuff, bringing in, trucks topped and taped and tied down with all their wares and all that good stuff. So, yeah, it can get a little wild out there. But, it's a place that, like you said earlier, it's fun for all ages. I bring my kids out here. I have 2 kids as well, 4 and 6 years old, and and they have a great time out there and can do some kid stuff. And then there's stuff the adults do as well. What the thing is, though, like you mentioned with the Barbarian Inn, it's off the path.
Yeah.
So if you go looking for those places, then you're inside but none of the mischief, as we like to say,
Yeah,
quote,
yeah.
unquote, happens out there on the pass where 20,000 people can
Right.
see.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you get a bare butt spanking or whatever with your drawers on, you know that's.
Well, I
gonna
was
happen.
behind the
It
bar
was-
even.
It was,
You're
on,
right.
it was
See,
on the
this is
second floor behind the bar.
You're making it sound like a very debaucherous place.
Yeah, he's gonna go talk to the barbarian.
His-
He's like, whoa,
His
guys.
marketing
whoa.
instincts are kicking in fast. Let me reframe this situation.
No,
'Cause it
no.
wasn't-
We were the only people up there.
Yeah.
Let's
So-
retell that story again. Man.
No, I mean that happens, and that's the fun of it out here as well.
Yeah, it's
you know?
awesome.
And nothing more than a PG-13 out
Yeah.
there or anything else. So we keep it, all PG to PG-13 at the worst. I hear is PG-13.
Yeah.
But it's the patrons. All of our guys that are on cast and are paid by us all come in proper costumes. It's the patrons that come in
Right.
with the chainmail,
Yeah.
with no brawls or pasties or anything like that. Those are the guys right there. So when we get complaints on that, well,
not
we
really
try to
bad.
stop those.
Yeah.
And everything else. And we've gotten better over the years because nobody really likes to see,
Just
too
talking
much
to your mic.
out there
Yeah.
as they come in and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I
So-
tell you, when I was 14, the chainmail was part of the. When you're a 14-year-old kid, there's a chainmail chick. That's very awesome.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So-
That's points right
So when
there.
I was working here at 16, I learned something very
What's that?
interesting about the Renaissance Festival, that the real party is at the campgrounds. And if you've never been to the campgrounds, one weekend we'll have to camp out here.
Oh, really?
Oh, it gets wild. Rocky Horror Picture Show did a full thing. I was Meatloaf, rode in on a motorcycle.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I did hear about this, and this sounded cool about the campgrounds, that they do a really cool drum circle or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I'm all into that, dude.
we have two campgrounds out here. One's a quiet and one's a regular campground. I'm sure you stayed out there in the regular campground
I did.
and all that good stuff. But yeah, it does get rowdy. With the campgrounds out here, it gets rowdy and all that good stuff. But it's all in good fun. We do have some campers that are, a bondage. There was a bondage camp that came up.
Oh,
here.
really?
Wow.
Yeah, a couple years ago. And I think they're out here all the time. But what they do is they, enclose their campground and they have their fun.
Yeah.
They don't bother anybody. They're one of our, better people out here, and everything else. We got, complaints over that and, investigated it the next
Your job
weekend.
is so interesting. You just
Yeah.
have to field so many different things. But it is cool for those listening, and I'll say this because I have gone my whole life here. I guess the best way to put it is it's a different experience for you every time you go. So if you go as a kid, you go see the Dead Bob show, you go see the Arsene, who's amazing.
The other thing is, though, every weekend is a different theme.
Mhm.
So there's a whole different environment set up
Right.
every weekend.
Yeah.
So, and then there's a grand theme for the season, isn't there?
Yeah, the grand theme is the 16th century, the Renaissance Festival. About 10 years ago, we came up with the themed weekends. We wanted to do that so people could come out here and experience it more than once. With 55 acres, it's hard to see the entire place in one day, much less 2 days. But we wanted to offer some themes, and the reason we came up with this a little bit behind the scenes is how we decided on the weekends was we saw how people were dressing up. And how they were dressing up is what we wanted to use on that. So they came as Scotsmen and kilts and all that good stuff. They came as fairies. They came as Halloween characters. Halloween's just, whatever you want to dress up as and all that good stuff. So that's kind of why we went with the themed weekends on that as well. So that way people can get a different experience.
Yeah.
Dress up differently and all that good
Well, I was
stuff.
talking to my cousin last night. I don't know how many people there are like this, and she was like, usually when the Ren Fair's going on, she says I can count more of the weekends I missed than the weekends like she's like here like non-stop, man. And I think I guess we used to go
back
3
in the
or 4
day,
times.
back when Dee was working here, we had 2 other friends that also worked here at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one year, out of the 7 weekends, we came like 5 of those weekends.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And-
true.
And the best part about coming multiple times is once you've seen, the big things everyone has to see.
Yeah.
Like Dead Bob, the Mud Show, the stuff that's been here forever. Then you can start checking out the smaller,
Right.
newer shows and really see the up and coming stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
'Cause
last
you're
year we
not
went
feeling
and
like
saw
you're
this
missing
dude.
Arthur Greenleaf Holmes
Was awesome. He was great.
Yeah.
And
He's
he
been
just
on the podcast.
Yeah.
he was
weeks
on,
ago.
a couple weeks ago. He's on the podcast. He's great. And there was one. I still think the one guy that every year I gotta see is Arsene, man. Like I always
Oh, for
have to
sure.
see Arsene because he is. I remember, and you weren't here yet, But there were what I consider to be the last days of Merlin, is what I called them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I don't know if anybody has even talked about this as scuttlebutt around the office, but Merlin's last few years, he was done. He was kind of...
He was really just kind of phoning it in.
He was phoning it in, because I saw him previous where he was amazing, and then he was like, I'm getting old for this, and it was like the Larry King show, the last season on CNN. And then, so I still went to see Merlin, because he was like Merlin, but then Arsene comes out, and it is just unreal, man. The magic is unbelievable.
We were there for his very first show. Opening weekend, the first weekend
At
he
the
was
Odeon?
there, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Very first show. And I was one of the people that got picked on at that very first show. So
Hey,
it was-
wow,
it
you're
was
part of
nice.
history, man.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
What'd he do? What'd he
He
do?
threw my shoe over the wall.
He threw your shoe the first show?
Yep, very first show.
Hey, do you know? You got to tell me this. What happens to the shoe?
I have no idea. I've seen that show probably 20 or 40 times, and
He
I have
throws the shoe.
He literally throws the shoe over the fence and all that good stuff, and I know where it's going to pop out of and come back down, but I have no idea who goes out there and gets it, or if it even is thrown. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like it's the craziest. For those who haven't seen Arsene, two things. Number one, go this year, watch him. You gotta go and watch him.
Just show up late.
And yeah, and
Don't be there on
for our
time.
benefit.
Make sure you show up late.
number two is he does this trick, and then he kind of picks on the audience the whole time. It's part of it's part of the comedy, and he's a mime as well as a magician, so he doesn't speak the whole time. And he grabs someone's shoe out of the office, usually a guy, which I'm surprised he's never gotten his ass kicked or gotten in a fight. He grabs a dude's shoe and he just throws it over the fence,
Out of the park.
out of the park, and it pops up. And I'm still surprised he's never gotten in a slight fisticuff situation. But he's got to be good at, probably when you've done it as long as he has, because he's done it, I guess, his whole life in France, worldwide.
Yeah, I'm sure he can. He's probably good at picking out.
Who's going to be
Right.
like the soft targets, you know?
Yeah.
This guy is a guy not to take the shoe. This is a guy to take the shoe. If I find him today, we're going to ask him what he does with the shoe.
Definitely.
So if you need to step out or
No, why
anything,
don't you grab that, unplug that phone right there?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me to answer.
If you want to on the back
we
right
were
there.
very excited about that. So who are the, let's talk about, because we got a game we'll play here in a second, but I wanted to get to this year. And so as always, you're planning a big year. What are some of the things to look forward to? Some of the new things, maybe, all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple new magicians out here this year. We brought back, some of our most popular stage acts. Of course, Arsene, Dead Bob. Dead Bob does the same show all the time, and people, I'll get a couple of people say, "Hey, change that show," and it's like if we asked him to change that show, oh my goodness, it would
You would
be
get way more
uproar.
complaints, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
it's always packed. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, and that guy has mastered something. He figured out a 30-minute show that is his job for life, and he never has to change anything.
That's right.
I'm always like, where's my 30-minute? I got to come up with it. It's going to happen at some point, because that's a good gig, dude. Same lines.
Yep.
It's great.
Absolutely. I think he changed.
You ever seen the dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Does he look like you think he looked when you first saw him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. He looks just like you think he looks.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
And so we're gonna be tossing out some commemorative coins during the noon parade out here. We got 50,000 of these commemorative coins and everything else. So the big thing is out here, what we've done is created a masquerade ball. The masquerade ball is out there near the quiet camping area, and it's about 15,000 foot facility, and it's all you can eat and all you can drink. Till 11 p.m. Starts in the evening, actually. What do? Do we expand the festival? Well, why do that? Why do that when we could own the nights as well? Is kind of our train of thought.
Yeah.
And so it's costumed up, mask is required, and all that good stuff. And man, it is spectacular. I'd like to show you guys out there a little bit later on.
Yeah, we got to see
Please,
that.
yeah.
It's going to be totally new acts out there. We've got aerialists. We've got some
Wow.
great people out
Nice.
there that'll be rocking it out there.
That's awesome, man. So this is like an expansion of the park, then.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It is ours. It's a separate ticket and all that good stuff.
Wow.
People are a little bit confused on it, and it's limited too. It's an inside venue. It's all air conditioned, thank goodness.
Wow.
If it rains, the show can still go on as well. If it's hot or cold, it'll still be comfortable and well in there. So, but yeah, it is. It's gonna be nice.
Well, that's awesome, man. And then so you got the masquerade ball, and then the classics, of course. I was just going to see if we left anybody out, because I wanted to make sure and mention all the acts that I think people must go see. Because I would say this is almost like a primer for getting ready to go to the Texas Renaissance Festival. We're telling you what to check out.
Red Bob,
Yep,
Arsene.
Yep, definitely.
Glass blowing if you get a chance.
Oh,
Mud
yeah.
show.
It's always amazing. The mud
The
show.
glass blowing, it's always cool to see, but
It's
you have to
it's
get
hard
there like
to catch.
30 minutes
Yeah.
early if you
Yeah.
actually want to see
It's
it.
very hard to catch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very hard to catch.
Yeah,
It's
because
a very small
It's very
stadium
small
or-
and
Oh,
it
okay.
fills
Arena.
up fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I always went to see the.
Who's the bell
Yeah, that's what I was
player?
gonna say.
The bell player is really
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Caston Braun.
Caston
Yeah.
Braun.
Yes. Bronze.
Yes.
He was on. I don't know if anybody saw this. He was on America's Got Talent.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah?
It was
Really?
crazy.
Yeah, and they
'cause
dissed
they
him.
didn't
They
pass him through.
They didn't like him whatsoever.
What did this? Who said what again? Yeah, remind
Yeah,
me.
Howard Stern was on there and it
That
was like,
bastard.
it just doesn't go real well or anything like that. Nobody would really like this. And I'm like, oh, what? Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't wait to see because
Yeah.
when he's like hammering
Yeah,
whatever
I
it
can
is
see
that he's doing. Yeah, I saw him in America's Got Talent. And I was freaking out. They put so much crap acts through on that show. They couldn't put Caston Bronze through one. So they put an old guy who sings about. I don't know. This year they had a guy that was like singing about his wife's boobies hanging to the floor or something. He was like an old dude, like 90, that wrote comedy songs.
I saw that. And,
Yeah, awful. That guy should not have got through, but the Caston
I
Bronze.
thought it was funny.
Right, you're right. It was pretty funny.
It was funny. I mean, it's not like talent, you know. He's like
It's not Caston
little
Bronze.
one-hit wonder kind of deal. You know, it's like the pants on the ground guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pants on the ground. Pants on. Yeah. That's the world it's come to these days. It's a gimmick world out there. If you find that one gimmick, then you can do it. The gimmick doesn't even need to have talent.
Yeah.
It's not like we talk about Caston Bronze and how to entertain a crowd and how to pick out your marks like Arsene and stuff like that. You can go out there these days and just have your little goofy act and get your 15 minutes of fame on YouTube and all that good stuff. It's a strange world these days.
Yeah, it's a one YouTube. I keep saying that's all I need is one viral video,
Yep.
and then I'm cashing my checks, dude. I'm doing Wheaties commercials, or it's like that homeless, like that stinking video, of the homeless guy with the golden voice.
Yep.
Next thing you know, he's doing crap macaroni and cheese,
Mhm.
and then the next thing you know, he's doing crack again.
He's homeless again.
Actually, I think he might be. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. But let's see real quick. I want to play a game, so I don't know. How are we doing on time?
We're at 31:32.
We're okay. We're about the halfway mark, so let's play a little round here. We like to do a high five, top five. Now you got your board here,
Oh, okay.
and we'll go around the room. And we like to play games on the Least Dangerous podcast. One of the things that we did when we were at Comic Con the first time. So this is, I'll tell you, this is really weird for us because most of the time when we're doing these live podcasts, we're like in the middle of like a bank, like
Yeah,
a convention hall.
There's
Yeah,
people
like
coming
the
and
last
going.
two conventions we were at, it was like the front door where you buy your wristbands and you like walk 20 feet into the hall. There we are.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's just us. We almost had to develop a strategy for this because basically turns into this is the most. Would I be fair to say this is the most relaxed, calm podcast we've done live?
Yeah, the most organized on-site podcast. Yes.
Because usually it turns into just like essentially
Screaming at strangers.
heckling strangers. That's what it turns into every time. And then we did devise this rule, which we'll institute at the next convention, whenever we do, called Penalty Box. And I don't know if I've told this on the podcast or not. What happens is, Corey, I get so excited that I start what these guys call railroading the podcast, where no one gets a chance to speak. I'm just yelling, and half the time not even making sense, just babbling, similar to what I'm doing now. And so what Penalty Box is we're going to equip Chad with the right, like he can fire like a sound effect. Like, let me see if I can find one on my phone here. He can fire like one of these. Here, I got something here. We'll just do this one. This isn't going to be the right sound effect, but this is all. You got it up? Hold on. He'll fire a sound effect, right? And then he'll go penalty box, and I have to go do a lap around the whatever building we're in. I just put my headphones down. I go do a lap.
Just to let everybody else have a chance to talk for a minute.
You break his momentum up.
Just expend some energy. Just get it out. So penalty box will be at the next one of those. But we've actually been to a lot of the first podcast at places. You guys ever had a podcast here before?
No, never have.
Yeah, so that's why we're excited. We get to go out and do these live things. And
Yeah,
it's
I'm
cool.
not trying to brag, but I think we're one of the only people out there. I haven't heard of any other podcast doing what we're calling the roving podcast.
Yeah, like the Gorilla podcast, or
Yeah.
mobile, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we've got a setup so we can actually like just go to places and just walk around with, like later today we'll take some mics out and talk to people and stuff. And so we've got the whole setup to where we can do this but in a backpack essentially.
Cool,
So
very
yeah,
cool.
yeah, we're pretty excited about it. But so we're gonna play a game, and this is going to be a kind of a high five, top five, kind of a. I can't find my notes app. Serial.
It's the big one that says notes on it. Your
Okay.
finger's hovering over it.
I always text myself notes, and he was like, no, and then he's like, well, why don't you use the notes app? Well, you can text yourself, it's the same thing.
Except for
But-
you have notes that don't go away over time.
Yeah.
You-
Well,
they-
my
you-
text messages don't go away.
Yes, they're much easier to find.
Yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some verses, some Renaissance Festival themed matches, some battles, and you guys have to pick
Thunderdome.
who, yeah, Thunderdome style, who would win, and why. And we'll do, and then we'll you can get your answers in, then we'll go around the room, we can share them, and we've got 5 matches that we came up with. I'm trying to think of the best one to start with. Let's start with the simple one here. On the what we'll call the High Five Top 5 Renaissance Festival battles we'd like to see. Coming in at number 5 is Winches versus Gypsies. Winches versus Gypsies, and you guys can decide who would win and why. Winches versus Gypsies, who would win and why. And it could be, I don't know if this is a physical fight or if this is just like which one would you prefer. It could be anything, but if you've already got your answer locked in, Corey's got his answer, he knew immediately. Big D has no pin, so you'll just have to, oh, you should share it. These are little dollar store things that I bought here. Where we get the marker boards out. So Big D's in. Dr. Grant is in, so we're just waiting on cereal.
What? No, I'm good.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, let's start to my right. Oh, hey, by the way, before we do this, I'm sorry, this is an ADD moment. You have kids, right?
Yes.
Okay, I have a 3-year-old, and she is just now learning right and left. So every morning when we're putting her shoes on, she has my right shoe or my left shoe. Okay, but the first day she asked this to me, I was facing her, she was facing me. Okay?
You ruined it.
So I told her, I said, that's your right foot about my right. That's your left foot about my left.
And now she's scarred for
She
life.
is so screwed up, dude. Because she is now very confused because the first time she asked the question, I answered it incorrectly because apparently I don't understand left and right. It is a horrible boo-boo because my kid is going to be messed up on that for a while. So this is to my right, I believe.
Yeah.
I think. Okay.
I still have to, like, if somebody says, you know, on your right and left, I have to, like,
Do the
the
L
little
thing?
L thing, because, like, your left hand will make an L.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect way to do it.
I
you know
I
where
at
it
least have
doesn't.
an excuse. I'm ambidextrous, so, like, a lot of times it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Well, now I have to, when she asked me that question, I actually turn and face the direction she's facing so I answer it correctly because I actually have to do that to get the answer right. I want to make double sure. Have you ever had let's share real quick. You ever had a bad dad moment?
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah.
What's a bad dad moment?
Oh, bad dad moment is promising a new video game on PlayStation 4 and it doesn't come in the mail.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my kid, 4 and 6 years old, actually absolutely love games, play on the iPad and all that good stuff. And oh my goodness, I came home without one. I don't remember which one it was, and boy, they were very, very upset.
Oh, no.
And you know, and it's not like it's a left and right foot kind of thing that'll scar them, but
Not that bad, but
you know, I let them down, man. I let them down. My parents would let me down, and they didn't get me a Nintendo when I was a kid because it was $100.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad. And I was like, gosh, let's go to GameStop right now and just buy this game right now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Down off the horses.
So did you get it finally? Got the game?
Yes.
All right. Good dad. Good dad recovery. You're a dad. Bad dad moment? You gotta
Like-
have one.
Like,
Drop
like from
baby.
yesterday, or
Yeah. Would you like one from this morning or?
What do you got? Come on, give me one.
I don't even know.
All right, you're not gonna have one. Do you got one?
Oh yes,
Oh, go ahead.
I brought them into the world.
Okay.
Horrible.
And with that, to my right, Big D, who wins Winches versus Gypsies?
I say winches. They have to deal with a lot more. Like just all the drunken dudes. I think they're a lot tougher than the gypsies.
They're tougher than Gypsies.
I do, man. I mean, gypsies are pretty tough, but let's be honest, gypsies run away. That's what they do. Their
Yeah,
entire
they're
life is
sneaky.
spent running away.
Like Mr.
So,
Deeds are sneaky.
Just run away. So
Yeah.
I think the witches stand their ground. And,
All right, that's well reasoned. I like where you're going with that. What do you got, Corey?
I got winches as well, man. I absolutely. You know, here's my thing. It's all about the numbers, and you know, you know, if the gypsies and the winches went at it, you know, in an old school rumble back in the 50s, bring out your chains and rumble out here.
Gangs of New York.
I would absolutely think the winches would have people behind them, because you know who is not going to back up a voluptuous winch? You know, I mean, they would have strong burly guys back up them.
Okay, Serial, why don't you go ahead and back up Corey with your answer?
I went with winches as well, and my reasoning was titties and beer.
Fucking Rodney Carrington.
Go a little Rodney Carrington for us. So very good. Dr. Grant, what do you got?
I actually went with gypsies.
Oh, we've got a counter argument, and why, sir?
I went with gypsies because of the whole like gypsy curses and like what was that movie like
Thinner.
Thinner,
Thinner.
like Trip to Hell. Is that what it was? The
Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell.
Another
Drag Me to
gypsy
Hell.
curse.
Yeah, Drag Me
I
to
didn't
Hell.
know you wrote that. I didn't
Wow,
get it.
yeah.
Gypsy curses. Yeah.
Okay.
Good call.
Okay. I think we'll announce though that the winches take it, but I think that's a very good counter argument for the
They're
gypsies.
going to pay for it later.
Because you will pay. The winches will win.
The winches will win the battle, but the gypsies will win the war.
There you go. All right, very well put. All right, so number 4 in our matches here. We're going to go a little historical. This is fictional character versus actual character. But actually, I don't know how much the other guy was really historical. It's Robin Hood versus William Wallace. Number 4 of our Renaissance Festival battles we'd like to see, Robin Hood versus William Wallace, which I believe they have a Sherwood Forest here at the Texas Renaissance Festival. And they have a lot of people in kilts, so Scottish, so it fits in nicely. I don't know, you guys have like a Scottish village or like a Scottish area?
Interesting fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what do you got?
Interesting fact.
Yes.
Kilts were not invented till the 1800s and did not exist during William Wallace times.
What did they wear?
Sheep.
What was William Wallace? Oh, that was great. That was
One on
really
each
good,
leg.
sir.
They didn't kill him. They just strapped him.
Yeah, that's wow. They just strapped them on. All right, so and I don't know honestly. Like, can I ask you this question? Historical question. William Wallace, was that really a legit historical character? Was it really pumped up?
You think it's fantasy?
Robin Hood is fantasy.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
no.
I thought you had that the other way
Yeah.
around.
William Wallace is
Yes,
a
Robin Hood was real.
William Wallace is a real
Very
guy.
much from a movie.
They the princess chick that he hooked up with is a real woman. They did not live at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a lot of like all the people are real and everything else is kind of jacked up.
Can I tell you the best part of the movie Braveheart? Where he threw that dude out the window?
The best part is coming into the guy's house on a horse with the mace,
Oh,
Yeah.
smashing the guy in his bed.
Yeah.
that's wicked good. You're right. That is wicked good. All right, so so William Wallace versus Robin Hood, and we will start. Everybody locked in. Everybody locked in.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Grant, you know what you're gonna write. So we'll start here to my
I
left.
need to get some bells.
Oh, so you can ring when you're done.
Well, because audio podcast when you ding.
That would be nice.
Yeah. I went with William
You should
Wallace.
add a note.
Yeah, I should make a note. You were with William Wallace.
William Wallace, because I weighed him on how they died. I guess it's yeah.
What do you mean? How does Robin Hood die?
William Wallace went out in a lot better fashion, cooler fashion. He was drawn and quartered.
Freedom!
Yeah. Versus Robin Hood, who I'm pretty sure just died rotting in jail.
Oh, okay.
So I went with the awesome drawn and quarter game.
Well, let me give
That's
you one
a
of these.
weird rating system.
Yeah, until I started talking, it sounded perfectly logical in my head.
Can I get my sound effects back?
Oh.
I was going to give you one of these. Very good answer, sir.
Points.
I wanted to do that. All right, so we've got William Wallace. Dr. Grant, what do we have?
I went with Robin Hood, the Batman of the Renaissance.
Okay. Explain further, sir.
Well, he was originally like a lord. He was a rich dude, and then he went underground and started like fighting corruption and all this business with his boys.
Is that legit? I thought Robin Hood was just like,
A fox.
well, kind of. I didn't know he was a rich dude.
Yeah.
So
and
is
he
the-
got
is
his
the-
land and stuff taken away from him.
Is the Kevin Costner narrative actually an accurate Robin Hood narrative?
Well, there's not like an accurate Robin Hood narrative.
Does it portray the original story as it was meant to be?
As far as I know.
Okay, so again, a rich dude that, okay, so he's the Bruce Wayne of...
He's the Batman of olden times, and Batman always wins.
I am leaning his direction right now. Your rating system was weird, and he had a very good reason. We go to Corey. What do you have, sir?
You know, I had to go with William Wallace on that. Just a real person. You know, seemed a lot tougher than Robin Hood. Yeah, Robin Hood had the quickness and agility and skill, but then William Wallace, you know, you just can't back down from a guy who just wants to beat the heck out of people and all that good stuff and can.
Great sword versus arrow.
Yeah. The only thing
Arrow usually
Arrow
wins.
will win that.
Arrow usually wins that.
That's bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
The only reason I hinder and kind of second guess William Wallace is because Mel Gibson, you know, is in the movie, and now nobody really likes him.
Oh yeah,
All racist-
Mel Gibson
racist.
gets
Well,
one of these.
you just go with the Errol Flynn version.
That's what we say
Yeah.
to Mel Gibson. Do you hear that?
How long have you had this little toy?
Wow.
A long time. I use it sometimes with me and Rowdy. Sorry, we booed Mel Gibson. Yeah, didn't see that coming.
Yeah. That's wild.
Wow. You get a little sauce in him. And he just, that was, you know what, that was the craziest apology ever. Because it was like, oh, I'm sorry I was drunk. Well, you don't just get drunk and go, the Jews have caused all the wars in the world. That doesn't happen. That's somewhere in here, man.
Yeah.
And that is bubbling right out.
Yep, absolutely.
So you're right. So while you answered William Wallace, I think you threw another point in the Robin Hood column
Oh,
with
I
the
know.
anti-Semitism.
I know.
So what do we have, Big D? Where do you go?
I also said William Wallace.
Okay.
The great sword, yes, it was nice. My reasoning was the people that he hangs around with throw trees for fun. Like literally, they throw trees
Oh, okay.
for fun.
Well, that's what they call the is that
Caber toss.
The caber toss.
Yeah, they throw trees and gigantic rocks for fun.
You know-
they are hill giants.
The dude that used to Hill Giant.
Come on.
The dude that used to work here that we've been talking about do you know Jables did cable
Yeah, he did
caber
Highland
tossing?
Game stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Have you guys ever had a caber toss out here?
Yeah.
We do that at the campground out there.
Oh, really?
I will literally go out there driving by Friday afternoon, like 4 o'clock, and they'll be tossing cabers, and it's
Wow.
awesome. I mean, that
Yeah.
it just makes me want to crack open a beer and join them.
Yeah.
But
You ever
know,
taken a
gotta-
shot at it?
Yeah, I had to do the work. No, I haven't. But I should.
Yeah, dude, that's the other thing I haven't thought about. Your job has got to be so. Everyone is partying and enjoying themselves, and you're working.
Yes, that's right. And you know, a couple of years ago, you know, we'd have the media in there, and they drink beer and all that good stuff. Now it's it's strictly business. You know, it's kind of kind of like working as a beer distributor kind of guy. You know, I don't think those guys get to drink on the job, even though they're hauling around all that beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is
Yes.
tough. But yeah, you know what? It's at least we get to see 50,000 people a day having fun and drinking beer and all that good stuff.
You like a good cold beer, or are you a Scotch guy?
Oh,
What do you
I cold
call?
beer.
Cold beer guy.
all the way, son.
What's your
Yes,
poison?
No one else is a Scotch guy.
Hey, there are other Scotch people around. All right, I had a good Scotch
You're
last
the one.
night.
You're keeping the industry alive.
So what's your favorite beer?
Oh, I need that Bud Light.
Bud Light?
Our sponsor.
Keep
Yes.
it domestic.
Nice
This guy is on
one.
point.
Nice one.
There's a reason you got this job,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Bud Light's got some good beers out there, man. They're great. Oh, that Ziegenbach too. Oh, man, it's good stuff.
See, I'm just serving him up, and he's just knocking him out.
That's right.
All right, so there you go. Robin Hood versus William
It's like, where do
Wallace.
you like to buy your cars?
The Montron Auto Group, located 3 convenient locations: Conroe, North Houston, and in Friendswood, maybe somewhere there.
Huzzah!
That was great. This guy knows this. Is that part of your gig? Is going and finding the sponsors?
Yeah,
or-
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, we'd like to have sponsors. We don't get the sponsors to give us actually money. What we do is we'd like to tag them in our TV spots.
Yeah.
And then they do their commercials as well and all that good stuff. So it's not about making money, it's about bringing people
So it's like
in.
an exchange. They put you in.
Mhm. Yep, they do their TV spots. We bring the King in. The King is kind of our Mickey Mouse here, our spokesperson and all that, and they put him on our the TV spots and all that good stuff. And
Which king is he representing? Is he like a?
he is the actual king of the festival. He started out here actually probably 25, 30 years ago, doing odd jobs, doing the swings and all that good stuff. And now he was began doing Henry VIII And,
Oh, so it's Henry VIII.
Yeah, he used to Henry VIII. Now we got a different Henry VIII out here, and he's just king of the festival.
Yeah.
So a good mascot for us out here, and boy, he's
Isn't the
great.
king.
Everybody starts at the swing. I'm telling you.
It's the story that we keep hearing,
Telling you.
and I remember seeing him. You probably have been there. I remember when I used to grow up watching Brazos Valley This Morning on KBTX, and every time the king would go in and talk to Mike Wright, and Mike Wright, do you know Mike Wright?
Yeah.
Mike Wright would have no idea how to like really talk to him because the king was in character. It was one of the most fun things to watch because uncomfortable Mike Wright talking to the king was just being hilarious. It was so much fun. So. You've got to love that local media stuff.
Oh,
man.
absolutely,
It's
man.
great.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna rule this one. I'm gonna go. It's my podcast. I get to decide. I'm saying Robin Hood wins it. Robin Hood wins it.
That's fair. That's
So
tough.
we're
That's
gonna-
tough one. That's tough one.
We're gonna go now. Speaking of King Henry VIII, match number 3, King Arthur versus King Henry VIII. That is the match number 3 of the Renaissance Festival matches that we would like to see. The battles we would watch, and we were talking about it before. We were trying to find out the perfect guy to square up against King Henry VIII, and Cyril was the one that was like King Arthur. So I was like, that is a perfect one. So is everyone locked in with their answers? All right, let's start to my right, Big D.
I say Henry VIII. Robin Hood or King Arthur had his round table of knights. Pretty sure Henry VIII had a few more.
Yeah, and he
Just
had
pure numbers.
he probably had more wives than
Well,
the
you know.
Round Table.
I don't know that's probably not a good thing. That probably actually is but you know,
All right, so we're going.
Henry VIII. Henry VIII.
You're going Henry VIII. All right, so Henry VIII, and what do you have?
So
Sir?
I got Henry VIII as well. I mean, any man that can change religion, and all that good stuff, just to get divorces, that's pretty powerful stuff right there. That scares me a lot. If he was alive today, he'd be a pretty scary person.
What is that religion that he started? There's what's
The Church of England.
Yeah, well, what's the common name for it now? Is it Protestant or is it
Anglican?
Anglican. So that is the church now that literally was a king going, I'd like to get a divorce.
Yep.
It's like, hey,
New church.
this chick is not getting pregnant. I need a different one.
Right.
I just almost said something really dumb. I'm going to go ahead and say what I thought. This was the question I was going to ask until in my mind I said, stop yourself. I was going to say, is that the reason that we left England and came to America? But I'm thinking that's different time periods. Does that have anything to do with the Pilgrims?
It's similar time periods, I think,
Is it?
but possibly
They were
because they were part of they weren't coming here because they wanted freer religion.
No, they were-
wanted, like
They wanted stricter.
hardcore religion.
It was
They
the
want-
least cool
yeah.
founding for any country. It was literally like,
Yeah,
this guy
they-
said
they
get
were-
divorces, we want no divorces.
Exactly.
We're going to America.
We're going to go to America where we can not divorce people.
It's weird to think of Henry VIII and the Pilgrims in the same time period, so I'm really thinking I'm wrong on that. But I think it must be, you could probably trace it.
So 1492 was when they discovered
Columbus
America.
sailed the ocean blue.
But that wasn't Pilgrims. The Pilgrims didn't come over till the 1600s.
Right.
Oh, okay. And so
But 1500s would have been,
this King Henry and all that good stuff over there.
So 100. That's close.
I bet you can trace it. I bet that's when they started getting,
Yeah.
chomping at the bit,
We'll
going
call
like,
it that.
This
Yeah.
is bullshit.
yeah, that's what they started saying. Yeah, okay, so we just, history lessons with the Least Dangerous Podcast. So we got 2 Henry VIIIs. Dr. Grant.
It was really a toss up because inventing your own religion is a very powerful thing.
Yeah, tell
I
L.
mean-
Ron Hubbard about that.
But I went with Arthur.
All right, King Arthur, and what was your reason?
Merlin.
Oh, he did have a magician.
He has his
you
very
keep
own-
bringing up magic.
he has
You
his very
love
own
magic.
wizard. This is the Renfest.
It is the Renfest. And best I remember, Merlin's kind of cranky. You don't want to mess with Merlin.
Don't jack with Merlin.
All right, so King Arthur and Syria.
I went with King Henry VIII. I am.
That song has been in my head ever since he said Henry VIII.
Wait, did you go strictly because of the song?
Well, there's no I am King Arthur, hear me roar.
That's fair. It would be an awful song. No one would sing it. I think Henry VIII wins the day of the battles we'd like to see, which brings us to our number 2, one that I'm probably the most excited about, but it won't lead to as much controversy as the number 1. Number 2 is the Earl of Sandwich. The Earl of Sandwich versus Thomas Crapper. 2 legendary Renaissance inventors. The Earl of Sandwich versus Thomas Crapper. Sir Thomas Crapper, I should say. Who takes the battle?
That's not a real person.
No,
It's a real person.
It's a real
Is
person.
it really a real person?
We looked it up.
Anywhere near the same time period. Thomas Crapper was born in like 1861.
I'm saying Sir Thomas Crapper, and I'm saying this
Not
is
a
a
sir.
Renaissance battle. Well, you have your facts.
But he
I
liked the
like
name, so we went with Thomas Crapper.
I did like the idea. Here's what I like: the idea of the sandwich inventor squaring off against the toilet inventor.
Not the toilet inventor.
So stop with the fact checking, Anderson Cooper.
He popularized the flush toilet, but that was John Henry or something.
I feel like you're trying to sway the vote. Let's
There was-
okay.
the John was invented by a guy named John.
Do you have your answer locked in, Serial?
What? No.
Get your answer locked
Okay,
in.
what-
Corey's got his.
Well,
So
let one of these guys start.
we'll start right there. We're gonna start with Corey. He's got his answer locked
I
in.
got to go with the Earl of Sandwich right there.
The Earl of
Oh,
Sandwich.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
What swayed you? What brought you over?
Oh boy, I guess just my love for food. I guess yeah.
Sandwich wins the day.
Yeah, I
Good
guess so.
PBJ, you can't beat.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, real quick fact right here, guys.
Oh, we got a fact.
Yeah, I got a quick fact here for you. The turkey legs that we serve out here
amazing.
weren't. Yeah, they are amazing,
Yes.
but they weren't traditional food in the Renaissance times.
Oh, really?
No,
You know-
turkeys.
Well, turkeys are from
only
here.
from
Turkeys
America.
from America. So, how they came about was during one of the movies, Henry VIII. He's eating a mutton chop, and it looks like a turkey leg back in the day, and so that's how turkey legs became associated with the festival.
I never thought of that.
Check that out.
Yeah.
And nobody will eat mutton chops, so
Yeah, mutton chops,
There you
yeah,
go.
what is that? But yeah, it looked like a turkey leg in the movie, and so that's how it came.
All right.
I'm very excited about the Scotch egg or the King's egg.
Scotch eggs, yeah, they're
Every time I
pretty
come here, I have to get one. They're
Yeah.
so
What is
amazing.
that?
I don't think I've ever had
Oh,
one.
It's an egg wrapped in sausage,
it-
deep fried.
It's a boiled egg.
Hard-boiled
It's a
egg.
hard-boiled egg wrapped in breakfast sausage and then deep fried.
God, the only
You
thing
know what,
that could
that's-
make that better is bacon.
ketchup.
You know what that's well, that sounds like a hangover cure to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like order up 3
Yeah.
Scotch eggs, sir. All right, so we've got Earl of Sandwich and a very great fact about the turkey leg. So beat that, Dr. Grant.
I also went with sandwich.
Earl of Sandwich. Same reason? You like a good sandwich?
Sandwiches are the sandwich is a definitely a revolutionary food.
Yeah, they say it's just because he just wanted to eat and didn't have utensils.
well,
or something.
and I
Crippling gambling.
and I
addiction.
learned recently that
Oh, that was it.
like
You're
at
right.
that time, gambling was like holy crap the thing to do because they didn't have anything better to
Yeah,
do.
they bet on everything.
They bet on everything all
Sounds
the
like
time.
me, and I've got some
And
Bovada
he
bets
did not
rolling
want
right
to
now.
stop gambling long enough to eat something with utensils.
So he was just like, fire up a sandwich because I can play cards and get this down.
Yeah, if you will put me some meat in between some bread so I don't have to like actually eat like a
Cut
civilized
Don't
person.
screw my card game up.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
I'm
pretty good
leaning
fact right
way
there.
towards. We are learning a lot today.
Yay!
Cereal, where do you go?
I went with sandwich as
Earl
well.
of Sandwich.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you can take a sandwich to the John, but not a John to the sandwich.
That's a good point.
That is excellent. Excellent observation.
Yeah.
and Big D, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going with Thomas Crapper.
Thomas Crapper. Okay, we got
Now,
an
I'll
outlier.
tell you what.
All right.
I guess none of you have ever been to a third world country. No.
That's fair.
Let me tell you about third world country.
Maybe slightly.
Yeah.
But I went to this touristy part.
Yeah.
You didn't go to Iraq.
where they go to bathrooms is
Like
just
this
a
guy.
hole in the ground, and many times they don't hit the hole.
Well, Thomas Crapper wins.
Yep.
And that's the game right there. All right, our last battle. And this one, I don't know if it's a one we wanted to do, but I don't know if one of them fully falls into the Renaissance category, but it's still a great battle to have. We had to do it Pirates versus Ninjas. Pirates versus Ninjas.
Okay, cool.
So you have to do Pirates versus Ninjas. It's a tough one. So break out the boards, get
There were
ready.
ninjas during the Renaissance.
I was thinking
Just
about
not-
like some
just
samurai
not,
or
you
something.
know.
There. Japan existed.
Yeah, yeah.
But they could have battled on the seven seas, right? They could have.
Yeah.
So maybe there was some. Well, Marco Polo was trained, right?
Yeah,
So
the inventor of Italy.
yes, the inventor of. We discovered this last time we were podcasting. What opportunity did that guy miss? He discovered everything,
and then told on him.
Then he told on himself. He didn't take credit for. No one knew of these inventions before. He could have come back and just been like, "I disappeared for 3 years and invented everything." His name could have been on everything, but instead he's like, "I found these great discoveries from people of the ancient lands." And I'm like, "No, dude. It would have been called Marco Polo Fireworks. Everything would have been the Marco Polo brand. I would have been a guy.
Would have been like Thomas Edison.
Yeah,
Steal everyone's ideas and
steal
put your
from
name on it.
Tesla and call it my own. So
Good guy, Tesla.
let's start. Dr. Grant, you haven't kicked it off yet. Kick it off, sir.
What are you doing?
Pirates versus Ninja cereal.
Sorry.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go with. That's hard. It is very hard.
It is.
Can I have like pirate ninjas?
That's exactly what I was
Yeah, my option was Ninja
Or
Pirates.
ninja pirates?
That's exactly.
Well, it's your board, sir. If you're going Ninja Pirates, I don't think I can stop you.
Can it like ride a dinosaur with laser beams?
I kind of think that should be Pirates of the Caribbean 5.
I want a pirate ninja with a robo dinosaur.
You're mixing a lot of things.
Yeah.
As long as Mark Wahlberg's involved, I'm all in, dude. Throw Michael Bay in there. We got a movie. We should go pitch that right now to someone. They're out of so starved for ideas in Hollywood.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
They would do
I
that.
know they're making
And-
another King Kong movie.
And they can just
Skull Island.
yeah,
and they can
yeah, but it's not about King Kong. It's about
and-
the
and
island.
You
this
can
time.
call it Trek Wars.
Did you not like the King Kong movie?
The last
never
one,
saw
I
it.
was underwhelmed.
It was
I
horrible.
mean, if you're gonna
Absolutely.
remake, the best movie of all time, quote unquote, the best movie, what started it all, it's got to be pretty damn good,
Yeah.
And it just, it had Jack Black, but goodness.
Doug Benson had a good argument the other day. I was listening
Oh,
to
yes,
this.
yes.
And he mentioned that they went to this island and stole King Kong from it because everybody would pay to see it. But they didn't try to capture the T-Rexes
Right.
because I guess no one wanted to see those.
Why would they not have taken the dinosaurs as well as King Kong?
I bet King Kong seemed easier to handle.
You
Yeah,
think?
capture-
The semi-intelligent giant crushing ape compared to the dumb dinosaur? I mean, all you gotta do is put some tape around it. They're like giant gators.
All right, so
And they can't reach anything. They can't climb.
there you go, man. So
It's an excellent observation.
we've got Ninja Pirate. We've got
I'm going ninja just because I hate Johnny Depp.
okay.
And I think ninjas invented pizza.
All right, that's I'll go with that. Sounds good to me.
The pizza was invented in China
Yes, sir.
and brought over by Marco Polo.
I'm just not.
Yes.
Yeah,
Who
that's
took none of the
ass.
credit? That dumbass.
and tomatoes are from like South America.
Cuba.
Oh, really?
Yeah, tomatoes are American food,
I did not know that.
along with potatoes and turkeys.
What about Irish food?
Hey,
Yeah,
I had a question.
It's because it grows really well there, but they're from They're from South America.
Are turkeys related to vultures? Are they just like ground vultures?
No.
They look very similar. Like the
That's-
bald head and the
that's-
wrinkles
that's,
and the old
that's
man
something that we
testicle.
call convergent evolution.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, just something that happened to be similar.
I
You
love
wanna-
the way you look
wanna
at
hear
nature,
something
though.
crazy?
This looks like that. Same thing.
Well, no, but I wondered if they were,
Well,
at some point they were the same thing,
way
and then
categorization used to go because we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But like
they're
like,
completely independent.
like
though.
the three-toed sloth and the two-toed sloth.
Not related at all.
Not related at all. Like
Really?
way different lines.
One is
They
related
just-
to a horse, the other
They
is
just
related to
randomly like convergent evolution.
Oh, wow.
They look almost exactly the same, but are not related in any way.
Wow.
And now you see, Corey, why we have Dr. Grant on the podcast.
Science.
Science. So what do you got, dude?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Ninja Pirates.
Ninja Pirates.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if
crap.
anybody's willing to
it's not. It's not necessarily like.
that
Oh.
far out of the realm of
Well,
things.
because like the whole point of a ninja, is like a rogue, like martial arty kind of person, and so if they have a boat, they're now a pirate.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So
I saw that. I Am the Captain
A
movie.
I
A ninja, a ninja on
And
a
I'm gonna
boat.
tell
is
you-
a pirate.
Captain now.
That's I Am the Captain now, and that is not how I thought a pirate would look. At all. I was like, these are some scary pirates.
yeah, those are real pirates.
Where's his eye
Not
patch?
romanticized. No.
I have no doubloons for you, sir. It was so scary. And then, what do you got, Corey?
We got pirates right there. My sole reasoning is because pirates drink and get drunk and get rowdy. Have you ever seen a drunk ninja? No, they're honing their skills and swords. And
Have you ever seen a ninja?
That's a good point. But yeah, I went with that point right there, just as y'all guys had some beers last night, and I had some beers, and all that good stuff. We're more in touch with our pirate side.
I agree with that.
Rather than, I'm not a ninja. Hey man, I want to play some video games and watch some wrestling. I'm not a ninja. I'm more of a pirate. Whenever I drink beer, maybe sometimes I'll put an eye patch on.
Hell yeah!
Hey, so that's the reason I could come up with that one.
Hit the
Well, you know what?
R.
We are a guest in his house, and you two guys didn't have the balls to give a good answer, so we're giving it to Corey. Pirates takes it. Pirates wins the battle. And with that, I believe we're pretty much at the end of our time. First and foremost, we want to thank you so much for having us over here, letting us do this. This was awesome. This is a thing that I've gone to since I was a kid, and I can say no matter if you're young or old, there's something for everybody at the Texas Renaissance Festival. If you haven't been, you are really selling yourself short. You got to come check it out. One of the coolest things that I look forward to every year. I think I've been every year that I've been in Texas. So and I know you guys, I think, have too. So we're not only just guys that came out here to podcast and have fun, we're fans of this thing, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I knew you guys were fans, and I love what y'all do right here. Y'all keep it out there instead of just the regular news that you see or what you see on the internet. You can get some intuitive ideas and actual personality, whenever you're listening to you guys' podcast. So, I really appreciate y'all coming out here today.
Cool, man. Well, with that, we don't have beers, but I will say we should end it the proper Renaissance Festival way. So I'll say our part, and then we'll end it with a big huzzah. Cheers, prost, slancha, salute, and from the Texas Renaissance Festival,
Huzzah!
there you go. We'll see you. It's the Least Dangerous Podcast. That's it.
All right.
This has been an Exploded production. For more where that came from, go to exploded.com.